The graph shows the function f of x is equal to s squared minus 3x for the interval s is between negative 2.5 and 5.5. For what values of x is y less than 0? This is a multiple choice question, and so you solve the question and then you choose the correct option. The question wants us to use the graph to find the values of x for which y is less than 0. That is, the values of x for which y is negative. On our graph sheet, we can see that the first x-intercept is at this point, and the second one is also at this point. The x-coordinate here is 0, and the x-coordinate here is 3. Now let's look at something. When we pick a value of x between 0 and 3 and we trace it to the curve, you will see that its corresponding y value will be negative. When we pick a value of x between 0 and 3 and we trace it to the curve, we can see that its corresponding y value will be negative. But when we pick an x value that is less than 0, that is the x values that are on this side of the graph, and we trace it to the curve, you can see that its corresponding y value will be positive. In the same way, when we pick an x value that is greater than 3, that is the x values that are on this side of the graph, and we trace it to the curve, its corresponding y value will be positive. So it means that on the graph, if we want y values that are negative, we will have to select x values between 0 and 3. Because the moment we go beyond 0 and 3, the y values will be positive. So the values of x for which y will be less than 0, or the values of x for which y will be negative, will be the x values that are between 0 and 3. So x is greater than 0 but less than 3. From our options here, we can see that the correct one is option C. In order to get values of y that are negative or values of y that are less than 0, we will have to select values of x between 0 and 3.